Welcome back, everybody, to the morning after. Today is a good day because I am staring back at a face that I haven't seen in some time. Obviously, we've talked, but God, is it good to see you. And I'm sure you guys will be excited to hear from him, but Hank is finally back. Woo-hoo-hoo! Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, Hank, like, what's new? I mean, I'm a little nervous, but like, should we get into your It's a Lot right away?
Girl, I have a lot of it's a lots. Okay. Okay.
I can
Let's,
imagine.
let's be real. First of all, I just want to tell you, obviously we've talked a lot and we'll kind of get into why I've been a little MIA if some people don't know, but I want to say right off the top that you and Kiki have just been wonderful, not only to me, but to Jake, to Emma, the check-ins, the calls, the text, but not just from you guys, but from everybody that listens to this show. I mean, it was really overwhelming, and I'd give myself small chunks of time to read comments. I really kind of stayed out of the whole social media thing for quite a while, but when I did and I read a message, the kindness from people really helped me a lot. And I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the type of person you are, the type of person that we all love, it's hard to stay away. And I know that sometimes the comments and us texting you nonstop and things like that can get overwhelming, but I do hope you felt how much you're cared about and loved, because you are. And it's because of the person you are, Hank. And I want to make that very clear. You're one of a kind. You're loved by everyone that knows you. So it was honestly hard because for a minute there, I felt like I couldn't get a hold of you. I was like, what's wrong? What's going on? And obviously you're not hearing much on your end, and we'll get into that. But I'm so fucking glad right now. I knew this was going to be the end result, but damn, did it take a while to get here, but aren't we glad that it's finally fucking here? I don't want to, bite my tongue or like get in trouble by saying too much. So I'm going to let you take over.
Sometimes you're known to get into a little trouble, and trouble is something any of us want right now.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't want to get too deep, but like, what are the legal aspects that you can share? Because I know the morning after splashers have been dying to know what has been going on and how and why you've been MIA. So what can you share with us?
I will let you know that there was an allegation that was made against me by someone, and police have a responsibility in these situations to investigate allegations, but they should also take the time to investigate the person making the allegation is kind of one of the lessons that I've learned in all of this. And as a result of some action that was taken by the local law enforcement. There was a local media report that was done by one station in particular, and that it really kind of spread like wildfire. As a result, it led to a very detailed and necessary investigation. And I say necessary because if this is going to happen, I want to know that investigators had every opportunity to look at everything they needed to, which they did, and determine that in this case, that allegation was unfounded, or that it was baseless, that it was defamatory. And that was the opportunity for my attorneys now to come out, Todd Flood, Neil Rockine, Lowell Friedman, John Marco. the list goes on and on and on. But I'm very thankful for that. And I'm very thankful to be on the other side of this, 100% clear, no charges. The evidence spoke for itself. But I will tell you, it was a emotionally exhausting process, as my attorneys revealed. So I took 2 polygraph tests. I passed them with flying colors. There was no detection of any deception. And I did that voluntarily because it was important for me to make sure that the investigators had everything they needed. So that's pretty much all I can say about it. I did release a statement. It's been on the social medias. I know a lot of people have shared it, but it just essentially comes down to me saying thank you. Thank you not only to so many people here in Detroit, but so many of our TMA audience. I mean, man, I was getting texts and DMs and a lot of social media stuff from people all over the country who unfortunately saw these headlines posted in various media outlets and saw blurred photos of my daughter in some publications. I mean, just really horrific stuff. I'm thankful to be on the other side of it. I'm thankful for that legal team, and I'm thankful for the support of Jake. Emma, this didn't hit her radar, but
And that's great.
my neighbors, my just everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody that showed kindness and love. Thank you, and to those that maybe on social media, which I didn't really engage at all. I engaged zero, but I really didn't even take the time to read comments. But I do hope that now that people saw the truth, that they will know how important it is for the process to play itself out.
Yes. And I do think, it says a lot about you, because the one thing that just stuck out to me that you just said is you posted to Instagram, and it was more of just like a thank you. And it made me pause in my mind going, thank you. Because I'm sitting over here, my first social media post would probably be like, fuck off, motherfuckers. Like, seriously, though, the process you just went through, it needs to be looked at. And I know the legal system has to play out. And I'm more on the side of like, I'm upset for you. It just speaks to who you are. Like the fact that that was your first post, thanking people for support. Again, it shows the man that everyone knows who listens to this podcast, that everyone who saw those headlines that listens to this podcast is like, that's not fucking Hank. What are they talking about? That's not him. And it's because it's not. And so again, I'm very glad that this has been completely cleared, but we're sitting here saying that, and that is so right. But the beautiful reputation that you had and that you still have with the people that know you and the people that listen to this podcast, but I want it known nationwide. Like that is my goal here.
I will say this, and I know this is going to sound surprising to you, but I always do have the utmost respect for police and the job that they do. And in this case, for the prosecutor's office and the work that they had to do. And what I just knew I had to do was to rely on my legal team and also do everything I could to make this happen as quickly as possible. I mean, the reality is, unfortunately, I know you mentioned the timeline. I don't really have, answers or things that I can say about that. But what I do know is that unfortunately, in our country, there are a lot of things that need to be investigated. And just because something happens to somebody on a Monday doesn't mean it gets wrapped up on a Friday. And that is, causes a lot of anxiety and stress. And as much as I say that, I appreciate the work they do, and in this case, especially with the people that had to review this, this was the worst 9 weeks of my entire life.
Yeah.
And I've lost both my parents. I've had testicular cancer. I've gone through a divorce. I've had shit.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to this, because every aspect of your life is touched, and you do not have that opportunity. Like you said, you want to just scream to America. I wanted to scream a million times. But you have to be smart about it, and you have to know when it's the right time. And so even with this press conference that was just had, I was not there. I just released a statement. And even in this conversation, I'm being as benign and as kind of, to the point as I can, because it's not worth it to me. What is important to me today is much different than what was important to me before this started.
Yeah. And
It's crazy.
And I want to talk about that, because there's always these moments in life, and obviously you've been through shit, right? That kind of make you stop and have to, tread slowly and kind of figure out what's next. But I feel like this was that type of moment for you. Fair or not, unfortunately that's not up to us, but do you feel like that's kind of it's been like that for you?
Yeah, I feel like people have these moments in life where you stop, whether you're forced to or whether, you just do it on your own. Whether you have something like this that happens, or a traumatic event, or you kind of eat, pray, love yourself to death. You have a moment where you stop and you say, what am I doing? And I think for you, like, I remember going through your brain tumor journey with you, and I remember you on the other side of it. And whether you believe it or not, you were a calmer person. Things did not set you like they might have before. You had a different appreciation for things that maybe before you didn't. Not that you didn't appreciate life, but
No, yeah.
it changed you on a cellular level.
Yeah, for sure.
And this has done that for me. And it's weird to say that there were so many moments that I had where I was like, I felt like a rebirth in a lot of ways, where I felt like this positivity and I felt like some clarity of things that I didn't, mainly because I didn't go outside for like 9 weeks, and I really didn't talk to anybody other than like, my people on the phone and touch base with. But, I was not that I was alone. Obviously, I have a partner and wonderful
Yeah.
friends and family, but I went from living this incredibly big social life and incredibly big out there life on TV
Mm-hmm.
every day and with the podcast to being in my own space. And it makes you just think differently about things. It really
Yeah.
does. It
Yeah.
changes your perspective.
Real quick, too bad that this couldn't have happened, like, I don't know, 10 weeks later, so you'd be in wintertime. Like, you missed the whole summer in Michigan, which is like the best fucking
Well, I
time.
mean, I went outside. I didn't, I didn't go and do things.
Yeah.
I did it. And here's why. It's not because I knew I did something wrong. It was because I didn't want to, I'm a public person, and,
Yeah.
there were times I had to run, to grab food or something, but I didn't want to engage in conversations that I knew I couldn't. And I had to keep things very quiet and close. So
Yeah.
I got real cozy in my house. I got real fat this summer. I was just like, oh, we're gonna get some Uber Eats again.
Okay. Well, maybe we are glad that it happened then, since now it's wintertime and you can just, hibernate and get skinny. No, did you ever feel like, I mean, this was what I thought for you, because when I first heard and you called me and we went over everything, and just, I looked at Matthew and I was like, I mean, he is known in that city. And to go outside right now when it's everywhere and to walk his kid to the grocery store that's down the street or whatever, like, it killed me for you, knowing not knowing, because you're not guilty of anything, but like, I remember when I was there and I had made some comments, and like the stares that you get, like, just like the once overs. Like, did you ever feel that? Did you ever feel like not comfortable because of this situation when you were out and about in the community?
I think I like internalized it a lot more than what was really happening. I mean, I will tell you, the interactions that I did have when I was out, people were so incredibly kind and generous, and you know how people
Good.
are in this community, and if they like you, they like you. And which is wonderful.
Yes.
And I'm
And
so grateful for those people. And so that I got a lot of like nice, pats on the back and holding of the
good.
hands and stuff like that. And so I appreciated those very much in the emails. It was just overwhelming. It was really overwhelming. But I mean, like, I think it's obviously a different situation, but I think there's this thing there's very relatable to you and Matthew in a way also, because there are times where you've put your foot in your mouth, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
when Matthew had something football related that he knew he wanted to say, but he couldn't say.
Mm-hmm.
And it just drives you crazy because you want to stand on a soapbox and say, this is what happened, people. And you
Uh,
can't, because you have to let it run its course and you have to be responsible about it. But
yeah.
man, it is challenging in a situation like that. And I also have a whole new level of empathy and love and respect and just a different sense of appreciation for people that are facing all sorts of different challenges. I got so many nice emails from people who were like, I'm dealing with this. I've got that. I had this happen to me. And what I realized in it is everybody's got something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has. It doesn't
For
necessarily
sure.
mean you're in the middle of a police investigation, but I mean, everybody's dealing with something. And it has taught me that the number one thing we can do in our lives is just reach out and just have kindness and love for everybody, because
Yeah.
everybody's got something.
Yeah.
Life might look perfect. It's not.
No, and I'm right there with you. And you said it earlier, but like, communicating, like, even if you think your best friend is having the best day and best month and you haven't seen in a while, like, reach out, or reach out to your mom friend. Like, it is, and what you went through, again, you talk about wanting to stand on a What did you say? I know that's a phrase, but here we are. We're back.
Is it because I'm old? Is that what old people say? A
No,
soapbox?
no, yes, that's right. I just couldn't remember it. We're back. We're back. There were like so many listeners reaching out, wanting to know what was going on, wanting to know where you were. And all I wanted to do every podcast was get on this podcast and be like, this is fucking ridiculous. That's all I wanted to do, because I looked at Kira, I was like, I have a platform. Why don't we use it? And again, we couldn't, because there was an investigation going on, and it was advised to us and everyone around it to not say anything until it was over. So if you reached out and were wondering why I wasn't saying anything, was because that's what was best during that moment. But now we can, Kira's over here giggling.
Yeah, calm down, Kelly B. Within reason.
I know.
You still scare the hell out of me.
Well, here's one thing I'll say too is I'm gonna challenge these same media outlets to get back on their computers and write that article that said 100% cleared. Like, I'm gonna challenge y'all right now, because the fact that this whole investigation spread nationwide, I thought was absolutely ridiculous, partly because nothing fucking happened, but also this is a man's life we're talking about. So I'm going to challenge you guys. If any of you are listening right now that wrote those articles, get on your computer. Sorry. There I am.
First and foremost, I'm a human, but I'm a journalist, and I've always worked by a set of rules and ethics. And that's one thing I've always been very proud of in the newsroom that I work in and worked in for many years. But unfortunately, maybe not all people abide by the same rule. And now more than ever, when truth is something that is being challenged by media, I mean, that's just the reality of where the media is right now. Mm-hmm. I think people really have to take the time to cross their T's and dot their I's, because it's a dangerous game.
You know better than anyone now.
There are consequences.
It blew my mind a little bit that this got to where it was, because you're a journalist in that city. And
have you ever been in the Singapore Business Review?
I don't think so.
Probably.
I didn't say that. Kira did.
And unfortunately, some people you could tell are just kind of a copy and paste thing, or they were linking to the one story that was done here locally. So, but I mean, that is what it is. That will be handled how it needs to be handled. That's not for me to talk about, but
shit's gonna be handled.
I will just say that words matter, and I believe that words matter with everything that I do, and every part of my career for wherever I worked. Words have mattered, and I've seen that happen. I mean, with you, we've lived through some crap where I was like, wait a minute, that's not what she said. You know what I mean? Like, but it's the reality when you have friends who are public people, and we both have a number of them. And people have dealt with some shit, and you're just like, you just have to be careful. But I mean, if there is a kind of arc in all of it, is that it's an opportunity for me to take a step back and say, like, okay, this happened. What's the lesson? What can be learned? How can it make life better? And as much as it was insane and horrific and devastating, I have to lean into that. And so that's what I'm doing.
Ladies, if you're wearing undergarments that aren't sexy, throw them out. If you're wearing undergarments that aren't comfortable, throw them out. Don't you think we deserve both? Don't you think we deserve something that's comfortable but also sexy? This is where SKIMS comes into play. Not only do they create the most comfortable things, and if you've tried their lounge sets or their underwear or their boy shorts or even their bras, you know that you don't have to come home and rip them off. You want to keep them on. And what's great about it too is they also are sexy. Sometimes we, get too comfortable and we're not as sexy anymore, but SKIMS takes care of both of those issues. I recently got the Fits Everybody Lace Unlined Scoop Bra. And let me tell you what, it fits the girls nicely up top, gives them a great shape. It's comfortable, but it's also this beautiful lace, and it's extremely sexy. I never thought I would wear a lace bra as an everyday thing, but turns out when it's this comfortable, I do. And not only that, Skims has so many other things that you can try, guys, and I seriously can't get over how great all of it is. So shop my favorite bras and underwear at skims.com. After you place your order, please be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. There's a reason that Sleep Number beds are the preferred choice of NFL players, and it's because they can sleep the way they want. And especially if they have a partner next to them who likes to sleep differently. It's important for these guys to get their rest and for their bodies to feel like they've gotten rest, right? But it's important for everyone, not just them. It's important for you and me. I mean, I need quality sleep so that the next day I can be the best mom and best wife I can be. If you have a job on top of that, then yeah, you need quality sleep too. So don't sacrifice your sleep just because your husband or your partner might sleep differently than you. And this is why we chose the Sleep Number Smart Bed. It's because we can sleep the way we like. It's the only bed that lets you make each side firmer or softer whenever you like. It's your Sleep Number setting, so you do it however you want. Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year is here. All beds are on sale, up to 50% off the limited edition Smart Bed. It's only for a limited time, guys, and it's exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. So if you need good sleep, don't look any further than Sleep Number, guys. Go to those stores. You can see the store or sleepnumber.com for more details.
I bought a journal.
No, you didn't.
Well, it started because I had to take copious notes about stuff. And so it started with that. And then I knew, here's where I knew I was in trouble, because I really was kind of off the social media, but sometimes I'd be into like the IG reels, and my reels went from Madonna, Housewives, Bethany to now my entire thing is Mel Robbins, like Deepak Chopra, quotes from Jesus. I'm just like, what happened? Where are the Real Housewives of New York? They're all gone. Hey. Everything is mindfulness and like seeing the future. And I'm like, can I just please get back to Bethany Frankel talking about being kicked out of Chanel? Like, I mean, I need to reset my Instagram feed.
I don't, but Hank, this is the new you.
It is the new
the Jesus quotes.
Yeah.
I can't. Well, okay. And you spoke on Jake and Emma for a hot second. Tell us how Jake is doing. I mean, we know Emma, nothing really much in that situation.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing that people don't think about when they're writing these articles and these journalists that aren't checking their facts. You're also creating media that possibly these people's children and grandchildren will read one day.
I will share one thing with you that Oh. The day after this happened, Emma was so excited to show me she had her Chromebook, that the book they give you from school. It's like a laptop.
Okay.
And so she was working on it, and she was so excited to come up to me because she knew how to spell my name.
Okay.
And she typed it in, and every article popped up. Fuck. It was the first time she had done anything digital. And I just sat there like, holy shit. And in that moment, I was like, wow. Like, it didn't hit her radar. She couldn't read the words. But I'm just looking at these headlines and looking at her and thinking, I have to do whatever is in my power to get on the other side of this in the right way. And so that was kind of where it started for me emotionally.
Great.
And it ended on the other side with, speaking of Jake, I mean, I've been in a wonderful relationship for almost 2 years with this man. And then something like this happens, and it's, I keep going back to you and Matthew, but it's like you've had like moments where you both have been challenged with things. And when you turn to your person and then you're like, wow, that really is my person.
Yeah. Yes. I know exactly what you mean.
And it showed me a completely different side of him that, you don't necessarily want to have to see, but when you need it, it's there. And I love this man, and I'm so thankful for him and his family and his friends who just wrapped themselves around me. And you did your classic Kelly thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
What's that?
So I call you and I tell you like what's going on. And
Oh.
there's like silence on the phone, and you're like, well, I'm just going to fly there tomorrow. And I'm like, why, woman? I'm not even leaving the house. What are we going to do here? Sit and just eat Sonic?
Fuck
In
yeah.
the kitchen?
Fuck yeah. Like, that sounds great to me.
But that was
I-
that was so sweet. And you know, the messages from so many of my colleagues and friends across media from all over the country. I mean, it's stuff like that that was just
Yeah.
that was really nice.
Well, I think it goes to show you, Hank, is how easy you are to love.
You're sweet.
And the harder the times that you're having, the more people are going to surround you, because you are the type of friend and man that would do the same for the people you love, and even more. So, and this is why it just kills me. And then why I've been so angry is because the way that you were painted in the past 9 weeks is the complete opposite man you are. And I just, I always talk about media, and I love you. I know you're in the media, but like, this is where media has got to do a better job.
Yeah. And I will say there were responsible, media. I mean, I tip my hat to a local station here, WXYZ, that, called the attorneys and said, like, what's going on? Like, what do we need to understand and really fact check this, and never aired anything, and I think some of the stuff that you're talking about when we're talking about, negativity is a lot of it is trolls,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're always just going to be out there, and you've dealt with it like a million times. But for every time somebody might have said something like, oh, I read this about you, or I heard that, I also felt warm embrace and love from so many people who were saying wonderful things. So
Okay, good.
you just have to balance it out. And, if you ever find yourself in a situation, maybe not exactly like this, but similar, you really have to, the lesson I think is you have to tune out the noise,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. And you have to just kind of lean into, what's important.
Yeah. Well, I do think, I'm so happy again that they got it right, and obviously 100% cleared. I just want to keep reiterating that. If you were a regular person and you were not a public figure, they would have done the same thing, right? They would have had the police come to your house, look for everything, whatever, but there would have been no news article. So, or no media surrounding it. It would have, whoever was being investigated would have gone to their job the next day, would have picked up their child from school with no issues, and on and on and on, until there was an actual crime or whatever.
A charge.
But with you, it's different. Like, a regular person could have lived their normal life and come back and they said you're 100% cleared, and they just keep living their normal life. So I really want people to understand that obviously we're not saying that anyone needs special treatment or anything like that.
Absolutely
No.
not.
And I'm not saying, but this is why I believe for everybody that we just need to give more or something to these systems so that it can just happen faster.
Yeah.
Because I kept texting you, and I was like, any update?
Yeah.
And me, I'm thinking, well, what are they gonna go? Like, they went through the house. What else? What are we waiting on?
Yeah.
But
I was investigated like any other person would be investigated.
Yeah.
It was thorough. It was diligent. They crossed their T's. They dotted their I's. That was the statement that was released in regards to that.
I'm just mad. I don't know who I'm mad at, but I'm just mad. I don't know what's gonna get me through it. I don't know how you're doing this.
I think you need to scream into a pillow or something.
I've done that. I have already done that, like, every night.
I trust me. I know I'm putting on this, happy face or whatever, but I mean, this was a very, very incredibly dark chapter of my life. I mean, I had some very dark moments, and I'm not a dark moment person. But I believe no matter what, if you're listening to this and you're going through a challenge, whatever it is, you're going to be okay. and you're going to figure it out. And you just have to surround yourself with the right people and keep a good attitude and just stay true to yourself. And that's what I'm doing. And so I just need to stay true to that. I need to figure out like how I can best serve my community and do the best for my life now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just wanna continue helping and doing and creating and making a positive impact, because that's what I love about what I do here. You know, whether it's with you or at the work I do or whatever, it's just it's good to be able to have a positive impact. So don't worry, Kelly B. You can scream into a pillow, or I'll fly out there and you can punch me if you want. It's fine.
I don't want to punch you. I want to punch everyone else. It's just my arms aren't that long. I can't get there, and you won't let me fly there. So there's that. Is that why you wouldn't let me there? Would have stormed into that police station and been like,
Okay.
let's talk about this.
I mean, do you want me to be sent to Alcatraz? I mean, have you kick it in the door?
Can we talk about the fact that they took your phone?
I mean, yes, I believe it was reported, so I don't mind saying that. And you and I had a conversation about that. And the reality is like, and I will share this one nugget because I know it made you laugh, is, you know, there comes a point where everything is released back to you, right? And you get this opportunity to go pick it up. And they were very kind. Yeah. And I said, they handed me my phone and I said, wow, I really hope you enjoyed looking at 5,000 pictures of my daughter, Kelly Stafford, and Jake. I mean, literally. And I looked at it. Do you ever look at how many photos? I have 12,000 photos in this phone.
I mean, think about that.
12,000. And they're they're wonderful moments and memories for me. But I'm sure by day 2, these people were looking through these photos and they're like, if I see Matthew Stafford one more time, I'm going to blow my brains out.
Well, I think everybody can relate to this. Like, you have your phone. There's probably something in there that you don't want the entire world to see or know.
Right.
Like, when you told me that they took your phone, I was like, like thinking like if someone took my phone. And like the shit that they would see or me say. Listen, yes, you guys know I usually say what I want on this podcast. So what you hear me say here is usually what's in my phone. But sometimes my phone, I get a little more aggressive. And could you imagine if? And I might have photo. Well, no, never mind.
They're investigating a crime. I don't think they're looking at, you know, everything, but I kind of just cracked a joke because I was like, well, if you looked at everything, I'm sure by day 2, you were like, God, this is so boring. I'm so sick of this guy.
I should have absolutely sent you like not dirty pictures of me, but dirty pictures of someone else and just like messed a little bit. Why did I do that? At least they would have laughed.
I don't know.
Next time, you know? Just kidding.
But your phones are, and somebody said this to me, I think it was one of the members of the legal team, but in the era that we live now, your phone is more personal than any part of your house because think about it, all of your banking information, all of your photos, all of your notes or like whatever, like all that stuff's kind of in your phone. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I don't want anyone else going through it.
I think your phone is pretty boring too, though. You probably have 95,000 pictures of your 4,200 kids. I mean, my God, it's just
you're right.
Jesus.
How were you? How long were you without a phone? Because we know that there was a second phone.
I was hours without one. Yeah, I went like once I handed
not that long.
Once I handed my phone over, I was able to get other technology from other, you know, sources and use that equipment. But, you know, they had what they wanted to look into. And I said, here you go.
Yeah.
Look.
And when you went to pick up your phone, was it like, did you just have to like delete? Because I mean, I could imagine people were trying to check in on you and you didn't have your phone.
I do believe the minute I do believe the way it works is when law enforcement seizes your phone, I think it automatically goes into like airplane mode.
Oh, okay. So they like turn it off basically.
Preserve it basically. Yeah. I will say today I posted a statement on social media, and it was my first kind of like anything on social media for like 9 weeks. And I wanted to take my phone and just throw it in a trash can because it was just like, I appreciated the messages, but I feel overwhelmed because I always like to engage with people. And I was like,
Yeah.
there's no possible way for me to engage. So if for some reason I didn't, open your message or respond to it, I just need you to know, I honestly can't even express how much it meant to me that you would even take the time to say like, even a thumbs up, like whatever.
Yeah.
It meant so much.
And I think that's important to point out because in these type of situations, sometimes friends are trying their best to, support, reach out, do what you need them to do. But there's also times where the person that needs the support and help just needs a second. And I feel like that's what, you had a lot of good energy coming your way today, obviously, but sometimes good or bad energy, too much energy is just too much. Like we texted and stuff, and I never was like, if I didn't get a response back within a few hours, I wasn't like, what the fuck. Like I feel like as a friend you have to understand when people are going through things that they just need to process a lot, and that can take time. I don't want to end this podcast because I still want to scream and shout and love on you and just let everyone love more and give more time for people to listen so that, I know we are not close to my goal in clearing this reputation. And I want the internet scrubbed. I just want everything turned around for you.
You're so sweet and I appreciate it. And I'm fine. I'm going to be
I love you.
fine.
You are. You are. And you are fine. By the way, your hair looks great. You haven't lost any hair in the process.
I have, but just saw Johnny today at Six Salon. I haven't really gone outside, so I kind of look like I was not in my best physical form during the last few weeks. And so today I left the house and I went to go get a haircut. And I was a little anxious. I think I've told you when I've left the house, I've been a little anxious.
Yeah.
And I got out of my car and I started walking to where I get my haircut, and this car like slowed down, and I'm like, oh God. And this guy stuck his head out the window and he's like, we love you, Hank. And I was like, oh man, God, I love this town.
I will say Detroit knows how to rally behind its own like no other city.
Yeah.
And I know that they are rallying behind you. You have been is it a cornerstone? Is that all right? A cornerstone. Thank you. A cornerstone. Seriously, in that city and in that community for a really long time, Hank. You have literally made it your passion to help that community. Yeah. So I know that they are going to wrap their arms around you. And moving forward, I pray that this doesn't ever happen to anyone else because I've just seen you through it. I don't want it. I don't want anyone else to go through it because it was not a fun time for you. Again, I'm so glad you're on the other side of it, but I feel like my job's not over yet. So we'll have more on that because Thursday we're back to regular TMAs.
I really want to land this plane because I realized you didn't say anything that was horribly offensive or concerning.
Okay, great.
And I just feel like it's better to get out now.
Okay, let's get out then. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We are so glad to have Hank back. And until Thursday in like 3 days, have a splash.
Make a splash.
Thanks, everybody.